While working in Logic Pro X, it's really important to know how to move around your session, to move your playback head. You see right here, I grab it and move it anywhere in the session. Also, how to rewind fast forward and get to specific points in your session and how to use the playback. Let's go over that right now. This is really important. So I'm going to go here, as you can see right now, and I can move anywhere in my session. I just got to hit the space bar and we start playing. If I want to go backwards, I can go here to my rewind button and I can go back by one bar at a time each click. Or my fast forward button, I can move fast forward it up one bar at a time. And of course here, this button here is go to the beginning. So I can go right back to the beginning and my stop turns into that. Otherwise it's a stop button. So no matter where I'm at, that stop button returns into this go back to the beginning button. It's important there, right? You never know. And then of course, our play button. And then here we have our record button. So we can go anywhere in the session. Now, I can also go forwards or backwards by just selecting the period to go forward by one bar, that's my forward button, or the comma button to go back by one bar. And you can tell because there's two arrows. There's greater than and less than arrows right above the period and the comma. So you can go backwards or forwards. It's an easier way to get around. Now next to our transport section right here, we have our LCD. As I talked about earlier, here we have our display mode. So currently I'm in beats and project. So for example, here I'm at bar 4, right? And here I'm at beat 1. This is division 1. This is ticks 1. So the bars can be divided by the beats, the divisions, and then the ticks. Now ticks are about 240 ticks to every division of that one division. So here I'm going to scroll on to 240. You'll see it right there. And we're here at 240. You'll see it. And you really can't see much going on here with this. But if I widen the view up a little bit more here, we get a little closer in on this, you're going to see it much better as we move closer and closer to the playback head. We get a better view of what it looks like. So right here is our playback head. And as I'm moving here, you'll see it move. It's really minute, really small amounts. But see, we're right there. We're at 344 and 239 ticks. We're close. So one more tick means we'll be at 4. There you go. 2 more ticks. We got to go to 40 and then 0. So 240 ticks per division. And so let's say I want to go to a specific point in the track. So I'm going to go back here again, and I'm going to change this view a little bit more like this here. And I can just double click here in my LCD display right here. I say I want to go to bar 16. Go to bar 16, and then I want to go to beat number 2 and division 1. And we'll say the ticks will be 212. And I'll press enter, and I'm right there. Another way to move around the session is to just click and drag on any one of the parameters, whether it's bars, beats, divisions, or ticks. So I can click here, it's highlighted, I drag up and down, and I want to drag down, it moves further to the left, to the top of the song. When I drag up, it moves to the right, to the end of the song, as you can see right there. Now the same thing happens here for beats. You see it's smaller increments, and then here in division, it gets smaller and smaller as I drag. And of course, in ticks, it requires a lot of dragging just to move it. But you can always zoom in and drag it to the right section you want to drag it to. It's an easier way for us to maneuver within the timeline with the playback head. Now next to that we have here, this is our tempo. So you want to hide the tempo right there. I double click it, I put my tempo in, and I press enter, right? And I can press play. Now I can go back to the top. I'm still going to go back to here, right here. Now these are audio files. So if I, let's say, increase the tempo, my audio files are not going to increase with the tempo speed right here, currently. They're not going to do that. So be aware of that. So when I do increase the tempo, what will increase are the MIDI files and the MIDI data, which means my keyboard right here will increase, since you can see that's MIDI information. So if I play it from here, let's say we go to right here, and then I increase my tempo. Now it sounds weird here because the audio files are still playing at the old tempo, but the MIDI files are playing at the new tempo of 152.